What's up, you guys? It's Layla Lynn, and I'm back with another video. And in this video, I want to talk about Drew Sidora and her divorce from Ralph Pittman. Now, in last night's episode, Ralph mentioned when Portia and Shamia asked him what was the exact reason he filed for divorce, he mentioned her affair with Ty Young, former basketball player, now coach Ty Young. And I feel like people kind of forgot about this because, I feel like Bravo, when it comes to exposing people, like at the reunion, receipts were brought with text messages between Drew and Ty Young, but Andy didn't read them. And I feel like Bravo is kind of like walking on eggshells, like they didn't want to expose whatever was going on between Drew and Ty. But we're going to get into it today because even though as an audience we feel like both Ralph and Drew are lying, I feel like there's a little bit of truth in there when it comes to what Ralph is saying about Ty and Drew. So we're going to get into that in this video. But first, if you're watching, if you haven't yet subscribed, or if you're not familiar with me, I'm Layla Lynn. I do celebrity news and nostalgia. I like to talk about old stuff. I like to dig in the crates. So today we're digging in the crates regarding Ty and Drew. All right, you guys. So this was as of 2023, fall of 2023. Andy Cohen actually said he felt bad for Drew. He said he felt bad for Drew as her private texts to Ty Young were exposed. And it was reported, it looks like Drew Sidora was in the hot seat during the conclusion of the season 15 Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. She argued with Courtney. Y'all remember Courtney, who claimed to be Ralph's cousin. And she argued with her estranged husband, Ralph Pittman. Host Andy Cohen asked Drew if she visited her friend and allegedly more, Ty Young, in Texas. Okay. And she said, quote, "I saw her. I went to her game. Okay. And I did not need Ralph. I don't know what Ralph's been doing. A lot of things. Like if we're going to talk about that, that's a whole other conversation." So it kind of gives you the viewpoint. It kind of sounds like both of them cheating. Like when I hear Drew's point of view and Ralph's point of view, it just sounds to me like they both cheat, they both lie, they both do the whole gamut. Andy Cohen asked Courtney when Ralph told her that he decided to divorce Drew. And Courtney said, quote, "when he knew for sure about the affair and he had the evidence." And y'all know Ralph collects evidence. He's an IT guy. He collects evidence. And he told Courtney last season the same thing he told Portia and Shamia this season. He decided to divorce Drew when he found the evidence of her cheating with Ty Young. So his story is a little bit consistent. It's a little bit consistent. So Andy asked Candy Burrs what she knew about Ty and Drew. And Candy said Drew told her, Andy, and a makeup person that Ty Young would be her girl crush. Then someone brought Ty Young to the set, and that's when Drew met her. And apparently things, or allegedly, I should say, allegedly things popped off from there. And there were text messages exposed between Drew and Ty Young. They say, but it was Sheree Whitfield who had the dreaded receipts. And Sheree said, "Oh my gosh, so I don't want to be in the middle of this, but I was given some information. It was dropped off to my house a couple of days ago. It just paints a different picture of their relationship, her and Ty. Not her and Ralph, but her and Ty." And she said, "These are private messages between Ty and I'm assuming Drew." And Andy took a look at the receipts, if y'all recall, and he said, "These are private messages between Ty and I'm assuming Drew. If these are real," which we don't know they are very incriminating, very incriminating. And what did Drew do when those incriminating text messages were brought into the reunion? Drew started to cry and tried to play it off. So I just want to bring that back into the conversation when it comes to Ralph and Drew. There is some consistency in Ralph's story regarding Drew and Ty Young. Now, that doesn't mean that Ralph didn't also cheat, because it's my opinion that he's also a cheater, that he kind of sparked the cheating in the relationship. But I just want to roll it back to what was posted on the blogs when that whole situation was going on between Drew and Ty Young. What's up, you guys? So more details and allegations are coming out about the divorce between Drew Sidora and her estranged husband, Ralph Pittman. Not only has Drew made allegations that Ralph was mentally and at one point physically disrespectful to her, but now allegations are coming out that Drew was entertaining an inappropriate relationship with another woman. Now, this is all alleged, and at this point, we don't know what is true and what is false. But what we do know is that this is a mess. First, TMZ reported in an amended divorce complaint, Drew says she simply cannot take Ralph's continued blatant disrespect and mental abuse any longer. She goes on to accuse Ralph of being a serial cheater during their marriage, even claiming some of the women he's allegedly had affairs with have rubbed it in her face, sending her screenshots of their sex with Ralph. That's not all. Drew also says Ralph has recently gotten physical with her, claiming last month he grabbed her phone out of her hand, causing her to fall to the floor. She says Ralph yelled at her, saying he pays the cell phone bill, so the phone belongs to him. I don't know how petty you can get. She says when Ralph got physically aggressive, she even considered leaving Atlanta and flying with her 3 minor children to Chicago where they'd feel safe. So it sounds like even though Drew is publicly accusing Ralph of cheating, Ralph must have some trust issues with Drew because he was trying to take her phone out of her hand to look at whatever she has in her phone. And that's where the rumors of Drew having an inappropriate relationship with a woman come in. Mimi Foss from Love and Hip Hop posted an IG story of her former fiance Ty Young and Drew hugged up at Ralph's 40th birthday party earlier this year. Drew is dressed in a very revealing blue sheer Mugler catsuit, and she has a smug look on her face. And Ty is dressed in all black with a chain around her neck, a hat on her head, shades, and her arm is resting comfortably over Drew's shoulders with her hand dangling ever so gently over Drew's chest. On top of the picture, Mimi posted the song Munch by Ice Spice, which has the lyrics, "You thought I was feeling you, that ninja a munch. Ninja a eater, he ate it for lunch. B, I'm a baddie, I get what I want." So it sounds like Mimi is implying that Drew and Ty have some sort of intimate relationship going on. That's what it sounds like. In case you're not familiar, Mimi and Ty got engaged in 2020 before Mimi revealed that they called things off in 2021. However, they reconciled in 2022 and announced their second engagement at Mimi's 50th birthday party. But as you can tell, they are an off and on type of couple. Now, MTO News, which has about a 50-50 track rate of being true or being false, is reporting that a source close to Drew and Ralph confirmed that Ralph is jealous of Drew's relationship with Ty Young. According to the insider, Drew and Ty developed quite a friendship in recent months. And the insider claims that they witnessed one interaction between Ty and Drew and observed Ralph's reaction to the two ladies. The insider told Media Takeout, quote, Drew was showing a lot of attention to Ty, and she basically ignored her husband, Ralph. And you can see on Ralph's face that he was upset. The insider added, it's not like Drew was getting close with a pretty woman. Maybe Ralph could have accepted that. That's a whole ninja that Drew was close with, according to the insider. Now, I would disagree. I do think Ty is a pretty woman, but I don't think that is the issue. So this story just got messier. And to be honest, I would not be surprised if it is true because the way Drew appears to have changed since she got on RHOA reminds me of the way Portia changed from a conservative Stepford wife to the princess of Thoughtlandia. I think Drew is going through some life changes, and maybe she's trying to find herself and what she really wants, because clearly she's come to her senses about Ralph and has realized that she doesn't want to be with a man that allegedly cheats on her, mentally and physically disrespects her, and makes her look like a whole fool on one of the biggest reality shows on TV. Leave a comment and let me know what you think about Drew Sidora allegedly having some. All right, so that's when the rumors first came out about Drew Sidora and Ty Young, and that's what was posted by Mimi Foss. But I also want to share what Rashida posted months later. I believe that was May, and then in August, Rashida posted about it as well. What's up, you guys? So yesterday, it was revealed by Page 6 that Rashida Frost, of all people, revealed what's really going on between Ty Young and Drew Sidora. And she basically said that she feels a vibe between the two of them. There's a vibe. She said, quote, obviously it's some vibing going on, let's just say. And she said, quote, things be happening. Whatever that means, things be happening. She said that amid ongoing speculation about Drew Sidora and Ty Young. Rashida went on to say, now listen, it's a lot, okay? And then she said it is what it is. So whatever is going on between the two of them, between Drew Sidora and Ty Young, is a lot. And as a viewer, it does seem like a lot because it seems like we're watching Drew Sidora grapple with her sexuality. Rashida went on to say, all I say to people is listen, life is short. We could wake up tomorrow and it could be something going on out of all of our control. And you want to be happy at the end of the day. And I think what everybody's goal should be is to find that happy space. I couldn't agree more with that. Tomorrow is not promised. We have to live for today. And that's something that I have realized over the past year or so. I have realized that tomorrow is not promised. We don't know what the future holds. We might think we know, but we don't know what the future holds. So happiness is where you find it. And Drew Sidora may have found happiness with Tai Young. Now, I have to say, in my opinion, Tai Young looks like a heartbreaker, just as Mimi Foss, but it is what it is when it comes to Drew exploring her sexuality. It's just so almost, I don't want to say hypocritical. I'll just say it's funny that she came after LaToya because she accused LaToya of dating a married man. And then come to find out, like, he wasn't married. But in her case, she is married. Her divorce is not final yet. And there are rumors that she's dating Tai Young. So she's a married woman allegedly dating someone. The tables have definitely turned. So I wanted to get into the social media reactions to Rashida confirming that it's something going on between Drew Sidora and Tai Young. This person said, Drew said she went to go see Tai play in a game in Texas, but that girl ain't played professionally in the W since 2019. Drew lies so bad, LMAO. I'll be trying to be on her side, but she make it so hard. Just stand on 10 and say you did it. So she coaches. She doesn't play, but she coaches. But who knows what Drew was talking about? Now, regarding the kiss that Drew supposedly or allegedly shared with LaToya, this person said, a kissing incident that Drew logically has every right to deny. She cheated on her loser husband that's already using Tai to excuse the stuff he's done. Duh, she denying it. Kandi being a weirdo. I told you guys, a lot of people are coming down on Kandi. I think Kandi just wants to prove that she's not a liar. And because being with women is not foreign to Kandi, she's treating it like it's no big deal. But to Drew, it's obviously a big deal. Another person talks about the fact that we didn't get enough of Drew, Ralph, and Ty's story during the season, and it's only going to be on the reunion. This person said the fact that they went the whole season without talking about Drew and Ty, then want to squeeze it into the reunion, like, please. And I feel like that's really where the story is. I know Ty is going to be on Basketball Wives with Ming Lee, but I feel like Bing Lee and Ty had a lot to do with the drama on this season of Real Housewives of Atlanta, even when it comes to Kenya. Like, they had a lot to do with Drew and Kenya. That's my opinion. Another person said Drew said on the last reunion, last season, that she kissed a girl. So this is going to be funny. Kandi doesn't back down when she knows she's right. She does gaslight because she's clearly gaslighting Kandi and trying to do the same to the viewers. Plus, Mimi confirmed her relationship with Ty. Another person said, how did Sheree get Drew and Ty private messages? That's a lot. And I also wanted to talk about that because it seems at the reunion that everyone is passing around Drew's private text messages with her and Ty. And I wanted to know, is that legal? If Drew did not share the text messages, like back in the day, Kandi shared the text messages between her and Portia, but it doesn't appear that Drew shared these text messages. So if everyone is having access to Drew's private text messages, it just makes me wonder about the legality of it all. Is that legal? For someone else, I would assume to be Ralph, but if someone else has access to Drew's text messages, is it legal for them to like share them publicly like this? I know Bravo is in a lot of hot water for a lot of the things they do to their reality stars. They're not always legal. They're not always above board. So I wouldn't be surprised if however these text messages came out is not necessarily legal. I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm waiting to see it, you guys. Yeah. So y'all, we're still at that same point. Ralph is still bringing up that same issue with Ty Young when he was asked why he actually filed for divorce from Drew. He's bringing up Ty Young, regardless of anything he's allegedly done. He's bringing up Drew allegedly cheating on him with Ty. We don't know if that's true or not. We don't know how far it went, and we don't know what the text messages say. But y'all leave a comment and let me know what y'all think. I will tell y'all personally, I do think Drew is the type of person who represses her sexuality due to her mother being a pastor. I really feel like it. I really feel like it's something to the rumors about her and Ty Young, especially with Rashida and Mimi confirming it. I feel like it's something to it. But y'all leave a comment and share your thoughts, and make sure you check out my podcast. I have a podcast called Don't Date Your Pastor, which kind of talks about repression in the church somewhat. It talks more so about manipulation and things like that. I'll leave a link to below in the description box, and I will see y'all in the next video. Now, if you made it this far to the end of the video, then I think you like my content. So make sure you subscribe and check out my channel. I have over 1,000 videos on my channel. Check out my playlist and my podcast, and I assure you, you will like more of my content.